What do you think, Anthony? You think we're ready to go, man?
Yeah, let's get it started. Thank you again. I love when people are punctual. It's like my favorite.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Welcome to Tech Talks here with Pathstone Enterprise Center and SPA Capital Management, sponsored by M&T Bank. I am Adam Tidrow, and I'm going to be your MC for the first couple minutes here. Most of you know me. I see a lot of familiar faces. Hello, everybody, and to everybody who participated in our boot camp graduation on Friday, congratulations. And I hope you rewarded yourself and celebrated yourself over the long weekend, and I hope everybody was safe. But welcome to Tech Talks. This is the 6-week virtual workshop series where we talk to existing small business owners about how to use technology to grow their business. And if you're in the room, it's because you want to learn how to use technology and become a modern and contemporary business owner using technology to progress your business and make life easier and make the money you use more efficient. So I want to welcome everybody, and I think we can probably go to the next slide, and we'll introduce kind of all the voices you'll be hearing today. Again, I'm Adam Tidrow. I'm Chief of Staff and one of the Business Development Officers here at Pathstone Enterprise Center. You'll also hear from Jahida Zapata today. She is my partner in crime over here. She's the other Business Development Officer. And then we have Dion Jacques on the call and Anthony Dixon from SPA Capital Management. And then today's presenter is Jessica Liu from La Lu. And are we able to advance the slide there, Jahida?
Jessica Lewis.
Oh, sorry, Jessica Lewis. Yes, Jessica Lewis. Sorry about that, Jessica.
It's okay. Remix my last name. No problem.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and get a little bit into the agenda here, and I will make sure I can see that. But so the workshop agenda, we're in the beginning here, and then we're going to talk about how to build better branding for your business. And Jessica's going to walk us through that and teach us how to use technology to do that, and how we can have a better presence and a better branded company in the 21st century here. So before we get started, I want to go through a couple kind of rules of engagement, just so we're all aware, so we have a really good experience that everybody can, that we're all kind of on the same page. First, we'd love to have you guys interact with us. Most of you who have gone through a Pathstone workshop know that the best way to interact is through the chat, and you can interact with us. You can interact with your fellow classmates and the presenters through the chat. That seems to be the best way, and we always have a record of the chat, and we can send that out to you after the presentation with any kind of information that's in the chat. So take a moment to network with each other and get to know each other. And then if you have any questions you want to ask throughout the presentation, the quickest way, the easiest way is through the chat. If you're not comfortable with the chat feature, if you'd rather speak to the presenter or ask the question out loud, we welcome you to do that. We invite you to do that, and make sure you take yourself off mute if you want to do that. If you're able to, have a headset on. That helps kind of cancel out some of the background noise, and we can hear you more clearly because that microphone is closer to your mouth. If you're not speaking and you have a microphone, we ask that you mute it. It looks like everybody is doing a really good job of that right now, that your microphones are muted. Thank you for doing that. That helps cancel out a lot of background noise, and it limits distractions. One thing to keep in mind, I know there's a message about this in the waiting room, but today's session is being recorded, as most of our sessions are. So it will be available on YouTube in the next few days. Also, if you don't want your face on that recording, that's totally fine. We just ask that you turn your camera off. There are a few of us who, myself included, I don't like having my face out there. I don't want anybody to be jealous of my good looks. That's really what it is. I just want everybody to be comfortable here and not intimidated by how attractive I am. But if you don't want your face shown, please feel free to shut that camera off. And Again, everything that we do today will be sent out to you via email. You'll have access to the slides and the video as well as the chat. So tell you a little bit about Pathstone Enterprise Center here, and then after that, we're going to give you guys a chance to introduce yourselves, calling a couple of you to so we can get to know you better. But Pathstone Enterprise Center is a nonprofit community development financial institution, which means we're a mission-based lender and technical assistance provider here in Western New York. We provide small businesses with loans and technical assistance in financially underserved communities. And so a lot of our work in Western New York is done, most of our work in Western New York is done in Buffalo and Rochester and the surrounding areas. And for startups, we can do loans around $5,000. And then for an existing business, we can go all the way up to $250,000. So we have some wiggle room there, and there's a lot of impact we can make with our lending. But I think the biggest impact we can make, and I think that the Pathstone team would back me up on this, the biggest impact we make is in our free technical assistance. And that includes things like what we're doing today, the business development education series and workshops, the one-on-one technical assistance we provide with industry experts, mentoring and coaching, pairing you up with a mentor who can help you and coach you and guide you through the business ownership and startup process, and then networking, which we talked about a few minutes ago, which is while we're not face-to-face right now, one thing you can do to network with your peers is to introduce yourselves through the chat. And we're actually going to get to that in just a second, where we're going to have a few people come forward and introduce themselves. But if you want to learn more about Pathstone Enterprise Center and what we do, you can check us out at our website, which is the enterprisecenterinc.org, or our new Buffalo Technical Assistance website, which is bizupbuffalo.org. It's a brand new website. It's very cool. We've put in a lot of hard work on that. Jahida and Dion have both worked really hard on that. So you can also follow us on social media at Facebook and on Instagram. Follow us on there. Our sessions are streamed live on Facebook, so we are live on Facebook right now. Most of our workshop sessions are live. But like I said a minute ago, one thing we offer is networking. And so now I want to hand it over to Jahida and have Jahida call on a couple people to have them come forward and talk about their business and themselves, and then maybe a little bit about why they joined Tech Talks and what they're looking to get out of that. So I'm going to hand it over to Jahida.
All right, sorry guys, I was on mute. Hope everyone's well today. We are having some technical issues, so I apologize in advance. Let me see if I can maybe pull up some folks here and see who we can get to tell us a little bit about their business. All right. Let's see. Oh. Do we have Ariel Chaldon? Would you like to mute yourself and tell us a little bit about your business and maybe what you're looking to get out of Tech Talks? Okay. Ariel?
Hello?
Hi, welcome.
Yes, my name. How are you today?
Good. Good. How are you? Welcome. So tell us a little
My
bit
name
about
is-
your business.
My name is Dr. Ariel Chaldon. I'm a counselor in psychology. Okay, I live in Ponce, Puerto Rico.
Oh, nice.
We're,
Welcome.
Okay, we are having a hard time with with the pandemic and also with earthquake. Oh wow, that's a really hard job.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear about that. Is there anything specifically you were looking to get out of Tech Talks?
Okay, I have a private office. My private office is in Ponce City. It's our second city, and I was trying to keep it open, but the pandemic comes and it hit us, our government, and there's a government policy that affects all our Puerto Rican people. So I'm trying to stand up, but it's not too easy for me. I'm a 71-year-old man. I'm and I'm doing what I can do for my best for help our people, Puerto Ricans. We have PTSD right now, and we are a lot of anxiety disorders coming up from the worst earthquake event. So it's a pleasure for me to be here. Um, um, right now, my office is closed, but I'm trying to open it up again. So that's why I'm here.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here. I'm sure everyone has heard of, the unfortunate circumstances that Puerto Rico continues to find themselves in, not just with Mother
Sure.
Nature, but with everything in general. And good for you for being resilient, right? Like there's
Thank you.
no limit to the age. So thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure for me. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's see who else we can pick on today. Let's see. All right, Miss Lola Crenshaw, would you like to unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about your business and what you're looking to get out of Tech Talks?
Hello, my name is Lola. It's Miss Lola Event Planning and Catering Services. I cater, I do desserts, I decorate, I make centerpieces. I just enjoy doing things, making people happy, parties, just different. It may just be the girls hanging around, but it's just a theme to go with it. You never know what people are going through, and right now, we need any and anything that can make us happy, just to get your mind off of all this stuff that is going on. It's important stuff, but it's just sometimes overwhelming. Every time you turn on the TV, somebody's dying or something is being burnt up or whatever the case may be. So that's where I come along. I just want to make you happy. We all know that food makes us happy. Too much of it can make us heavy, but it is what it is. So that's me. Just change I just did a party for my aunt this weekend, and she was so happy. And I just like to connect people with other people. Like I have a friend who do balloons, so we traded. I got to do something for her next week. So wherever I can fit in and help, that's me.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lola. As you said, food definitely makes everyone happy. I know I'm definitely one of those folks. So we appreciate you being here today. All right, I think we have time just for one more. Let's see, maybe we haven't heard from Mr. Bill Andrews. Would you like to unmute yourself and tell us about your business and what you're looking to get out of Tech Talks?
Sure. So my business is probably different than a lot of these. I run a big business. I'm a turnaround guy though, so I go in and turn different businesses around when they're failing or when some part of them is not working. So I've done a lot of learning over my career, and I learn, the more I learn, the more I just don't know, and that there's people who know so much more than me. So selfishly, I'm looking to help grow this business. I'd like to make it employee owned before I leave. And then secondarily, I volunteer with a couple groups locally. So I know you from the Micro Enterprise Coalition, but I work with WEDI and SCORE and Small Business Administration, mentoring small businesses. And so Buffalo is unique that we have so many organizations committed to helping startups and small business. They don't always share, so I think there's a lot of that going on now, which is really great. So the more I can learn here and share with small businesses and people starting out, the better it is to help them to have a leg up and maybe not have to go through some of the challenges that I've seen or that I get hired to turn around. So I'd like to be able to learn what I can to be able to share with people starting out so that they can be successful quicker.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here. I think it's
Please.
good to have a diverse group of folks here, right? Whether you're startups or you're helping people, you know, kind of towards the end. Some people, you know, they want to maybe retire and maybe sell out the business. So I think it's still it's valid that you're here, right? So we appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Pat Stone's done a great job of bringing a lot of information to people during these times because it is a little scary, and you guys have been kind of an even keel for all of us to come to for information. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. I guess we have a ton of businesses here, but we will get to the main event, and I'll have Adam kind of introduce our speaker for today.
Hey, thanks, Jahida. And everybody who shared, thank you so much for sharing. We're glad to have you here. Those who are going to get a chance to share, please feel free to put your information down in the chat again, and we'll get with you next week too. So hopefully we'll get some new people next week to share. But I know there are a few announcements we want to go over, talk about what we have coming up this week and next week, and as we kind of finish out the year here. So a couple of things to keep in mind. First is that we're going to be covering social media in the next 2 Tech Talk sessions, and the next 2 Tech Talk sessions are on Thursdays. So I know we're typically on Wednesdays, but the next 2 we're going to have on Thursdays. So that's the 17th and the 24th. Tech Talks next week and the following week will be on Thursday. We'll be going over social media with David Simons. And then Wednesday, September 30th and October 7th, we'll be doing website development and content management. And the new workshop series that we have launching next Monday, or this coming Monday rather, is so on September 14th, we have the next level, which is a virtual workshop series that is kind of the next step for those who went through boot camp or anybody who has been in business for a year or longer. Please feel free to sign up for the next level, and we're going to be talking a lot about mindset and kind of how to be an entrepreneur, how to be a small business owner, how to go through that, and kind of taking your business to the next level right after that launch. So those are a lot of things coming up. One thing we want to keep hitting home on is that next week and the following week, Tech Talks is on Thursdays, and then we'll go back to Wednesdays. And so just keep that in mind, and we will send you out reminder emails so that you know all that. But now
Adam,
I want to hand it over.
Adam, this is
yeah.
Dion. Just one quick thing I wanted to make folks aware of. We will resume our small business forums for the final quarter of this year on October 2nd. And the first forum for the final quarter will be on how to start and maintain a nonprofit organization. We're going to have a wonderful panel of nonprofit experts. So those of you who run nonprofits or are interested in starting one, just mark your calendars for Friday, October 2nd. We will be sending out registration and details shortly.
Yes, that'll be good. October 2nd. Keep that in mind, everybody. That's our small business forum launching the next, the final series of that for the year. Yeah, those are always fun. I like those. There's a lot of conversation in those. So yeah, now I want to hand it over to Anthony Dixon to introduce himself, and he's kind of the mastermind behind Tech Talks here. And then Anthony will introduce our presenter, Jessica Lewis, today. So Anthony, my man, it's all yours.
Cool. Thank you again. This is an opportunity for you to network. So make sure you put your name and your business in that chat, what your business does, and just a way for you to connect and talk to other people as you engage. Again, my name is Anthony Dixon. I am a partnership investor and small business consultant with SPA Capital Management. SPA Capital Management is a holding company that invests in small businesses through a partnership model. So again, if you want more information on that, check out our website, spacm.com, or follow us on Facebook or LinkedIn. And again, again, TED Talks is the opportunity for us to talk about some foundational stuff like marketing and sales. We're going to talk about branding today, as well as social media and web development. But we still want to lay down the foundations, but we want to also interject some technologies that you can use to make yourself efficient and more effective as you're doing this process. As everybody is going through this situation. So I thank you again for attending. I thank you again, Pavstone, for having me. I also would like to thank our sponsor, M&T Bank, for helping us to put this on. Again, we talked last week. I just want to do a recap. We talked last week about marketing and sales. Marketing is that bullhorn for you to talk to your customers. If that's your core customers, meaning the ones that has been with you since day one, or if you're actually talking to your target customers, those are the ones that you want to acquire so you can get more sales. And we talked about some tools that you can use as far as technology and things to kind of move that forward. And then we start talking about sales. Now, that process that we started to use to actually get our customers engaged with our business and able to get them from inquiring about our services, what we serve, our solution to the market, and then actually at the end, how to close them and then retain them by doing feedback. This time, I am so happy to introduce Jessica Lewis, because branding is one of those things that you're going to put this company out here, or you have put this company out here, but people need to connect to it. They need to resonate with it. It needs to stay on top of mind, and that is really a skill that you should be incorporating in your business. And I'm pretty sure Jessica Lewis will be able to give you those skills as well as some technologies to use that to maximize your potential. Again, she's the president and CEO of LaLu Public Relations. And I've just been able to work with her this is my second time having her to present. I know that it's a ton of information. She's very engaging, very knowledgeable. So I'm really excited to have her present again and give you that techniques and skills you can to make sure that your brand and your business stay top of mind of your consumers. So Jessica, please feel free to take over, and we're definitely looking forward to this presentation today. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Hello, everyone. As he mentioned, my name is Jessica Lewis. I am the president and CEO of LaLu Public Relations, and I am so incredibly excited to be here with you all today to facilitate this workshop. LaLu Public Relations was founded in 2016, and we specialize in marketing, branding, writing, media relations, social media, and website management. And also this year, I was recognized as the PRSA, which is the Public Relations Society of America, the Rochester chapter's Rising Star. And so this work, I live, breathe, and eat public relations and branding. And so I hope that you all will get something out of today's workshop. I want you to be active and be engaged. If you have participated in a workshop with me before, you know that I'm very interactive and I'm all about engagement. So to kick off today's presentation, we're going to start with an activity called the Gallery Walk. And so if you can advance the slide. So you are going to see a compilation of logos from some pretty popular brands. And what I want you to do is to tell me what comes to mind when you see the particular brand. So this one is Chick-fil-A. So you can drop it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and you can tell me aloud. So again, what comes to mind? When you think of Chick-fil-A, what do you think about?
Yummy food.
Yummy food, absolutely. Lots of chicken in the chat. And what else, guys? Moist chicken fillets. Okay. Yes, chicken sandwiches. Slow, Katira, could you elaborate? What does that mean? Are you talking about slow service? Okay. Anything else? Great lemonade. Here, here. Food is good. Mm-hmm. Now, have we
Closed on
always had
Sunday.
Chick-fil-A in Rochester? Somebody said biblically based, right? Not open on Sunday. That's a huge one for their brand. Pretty new in the area. Was someone else going to say something? I'm sorry.
Nah, you said it. I said closed on Sunday.
Okay. Yeah.
Family friendly.
Family friendly, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the Chick-fil-A brand. So their founder, Truett Cathy, he made the decision to close on Sundays in 1946. And that's when he opened up the restaurant. And so he figured, having worked 7 days a week in restaurants, open 24 hours, he saw the importance of closing on Sundays so that his employees could set one day aside to rest and worship if they chose, a practice that they uphold today. So that's a strong aspect of their brand. And no matter where Chick-fil-A is, if you try to go there on a Sunday, you're going to be disappointed. So you have to make sure that you patronize them Monday through Saturday. Now, there's also a slogan that you might be familiar with. And if you ever seen like a billboard or something, it's cows and it says, "Eat more chicken." And so that's kind of like a play on their brand as well, because when people eat more chicken, they eat less cows. And of course, when you think of fast food, you think of burgers. But for them, it's the chicken sandwich that they're lifting up. Chick-fil-A has 2,400 restaurants, which can be found inside airports, malls, college campuses, in the heart of Manhattan, and in neighborhoods in 47 states and Washington, D.C. So they have a large span. And if you look at their logo, the last letter is a capital A, and that's on purpose. And it means grade A, top quality. So there's intention with their brand and there's consistency. So I want to make sure that you guys are taking notes, whether mental or you're writing them down, but keep these things in mind as we progress through this presentation. Next slide. Okay. I don't even need to tell you what brand this is, but drop in the chat or unmute yourself and tell me what you think about
Nike. Just do it.
Just do it. Come on, Jasmine. Okay. Who else?
Nike.
Athletic. Shoes. Correct. Fitness.
Sneakers.
Yes. Talk to me about the quality of Nike products. Just do it. Innovators. Yep.
Quality is excellent.
How about the price?
Reasonable.
Okay. Comfort, strong brand. Anything else come to mind when you think about Nike? Michael Jordan, Derek Jeter. Okay. So some celebs. Sports, correct. Teenagers.
Grown folks too.
So a wide range for Nike. Truth, what does that mean, Kiana? Clothing line, you get what you pay for. Okay. Thanks. So let's talk a little bit about Nike. So first off, let's talk about the logo. Their brand is so strong, they don't even need to have the word Nike underneath. You already know what it is as soon as you see that. So Nike is the winged goddess of victory. And in Greek mythology, Nike, the logo is derived from goddess wing swoosh, which symbolizes the sound of speed, movement, power, and motivation. And when you think about that, again, intention being behind that, you think about Nike as a brand being connected to sports, quality sneakers, but also apparel. And they have expanded their brand. They're also making hijabs. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but hijabs with the Nike swoosh on it. They have partnered with a lot of athletic teams where they're like the actual team that sponsors their uniforms. Nike is a very powerful brand. And also when you think about Colin Kaepernick, you know, they stood behind him during that time when a lot of people, you know, kind of bucked up against him and they disagreed with what he was standing for, really kneeling during those football games. And so I think only a powerful brand like Nike could have done something like that. Okay, we can go to the next one. How about this brand? What do you guys think about Apple?
It says physical education is more important
Expensive.
now than ever.
Expensive, okay. Exclusive leader in technology, Steve Jobs, absolutely innovative, new, sleek, I love it. Who's team iPhone and who's team Android?
Team Android.
Constantly evolving. That right there, ding, 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 all day, yes. Team iPhone.
Team Android all day, baby. Yeah.
Team Android all day.
Very good. Any other comments about the brand? How many people remember the Apple Macintosh computer from school back in the day?
I do.
And all the tools that are used
All
by
different
students
colors.
are sanitized after every class.
3.5 this day.
I do too.
DOS system.
Absolutely. Yes. So talk about longevity with this particular brand. And it is considered a big tech company alongside Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. Yes, Steve Jobs is very, he's the most well-known with the Apple brand, but there were other members, Steve Wozniak, and there was a third individual. All of them played a key part in the development of Apple. And even, I think Steve Jobs, like, I don't know if he got fired or something happened and then they brought him back. And so they've had their ups and downs, but despite that, they have lasted like the test of time when it comes to technology. And somebody dropped in the chat about constantly evolving. And that is so important, especially when you're in technology. Like you got to maintain your relevancy because things are changing so quickly every single day. And that's why for iPhone, we know that they're constantly, he was fired. Yes, thank you, Adam. iPhone, they're constantly coming out with like a new edition. I don't even know what iPhone I have. I think I have 7 or 8. They're probably on 11. I don't even know which one they're on now, but there's always a demand for what they supply. And that's how they can keep their doors open. And they're very innovative. Their brand is just, it's all around, it's very, very strong. What's this? Okay, thank you. 11 Pro Max. I knew somebody would know. All right, so we'll keep going. What's our next one? Campbell's. Okay.
The soup your mama give you when you was sick.
Right. What's their slogan?
Good.
That's correct.
A reward of
Home, mom, comfort, cozy. Yes, it's to feel good food. Rochester's weather is about to start turning soon. We'll all be trying to get some nice hot soup. Great marketing strategy. Can you say a little bit more? I don't know, Lafayette. Don't want to mispronounce it, but talk a little bit more about that. And if anyone else has anything they want to say about the brand, about the Campbell's brand. All right, while we're all thinking, let's get a little bit of history on them. So Campbell was established in 1869. And in 2019, they celebrated their 150th anniversary. They make a range of high quality soups and simple meals, beverages, and snacks. Their portfolio is focused on two distinct businesses, snacks and meals and beverages. So the one thing about Campbell's is that, first off, a long history. They have stood the test of time. Their slogan, I think one time they tried to change their slogan and it was like an uproar and they went back. So good, I think is here to stay. And if you go to the next slide, Campbell's is much more than soup. Their portfolio is very wide. And this enables them to focus on iconic brands and positions them in the market so that they have a great presence. As I was doing some research on them, it says soup may be our middle name, but there's much more to our company, as you will discover. And as you look across here, just the chips, the B8, Goldfish, just Pop Secret, the popcorn, you don't even know who really owns all of these brands until you start doing some research. And so as you think about your business, it doesn't just have to be, that one particular thing, but think about brand expansion as you grow and as you develop as a business owner, because you can be multidimensional and you don't have to just kind of stay in that one particular lane, but you have multiple skills. And so expand that and just kind of do it under the umbrella of your brand. Any questions? Did you learn something new?
Yes.
Awesome. Yep, and someone said Goldfish, didn't know that. Yes. Okay, we can advance to the next slide. So what I want to do as we continue this presentation is I want to set the stage with the 3 core phases of branding. Again, if you're taking some notes, you might want to jot this down. So the first stage, the first component, in branding is something called brand strategy. And this will map out how you are different, trustworthy, memorable, and likable by your ideal customer. Your brand strategy will help to convey your purpose, promises, and how you solve problems for people. And I remember tuning into one of these sessions where Adam was talking about solving problems for people. Like that's what you're in the business of doing. So I heard a young lady say that she does the decorating, right? So a lot of people might not have time, or that might even be their forte, but you can hire someone to come in to decorate for you. If branding is not your thing, you can hire a PR company and they'll manage your brand for you. So everyone's business is solving a problem or basically providing a convenience to a customer. So you can think of brand strategy as the blueprint for how you want the world to see your business. And also think about your mission statement. You want to lay out your purpose, your mission, and even your value proposition, who you are and what sets you apart from the competition. When I think about myself, there's other PR firms in the area, but I'm constantly thinking, what's my competitive advantage? How does LaLu separate itself from other PR firms in the Rochester area? And I know one thing for me, branding, like that's my specialty area. Media relations, when a company wants to get on the news or they want an article in the newspaper, I know that's a specialty area for me. And so I'm constantly working to hone my craft because that's my niche. You can go to the next slide. The second component is brand identity. So if brand strategy is a plan that focuses on the long-term development of your purpose and impact, then brand identity is the way that you convey this to the public with visuals, messaging, and experience. Brand identity should be applied across all channels consistently. It is the way that your business becomes recognizable. This includes your logo, colors and fonts, website design, content, advertising, print or packaging, and more. And I know before we got started, they told people to drop their name and business in the chat. And I still want to encourage you to do that because as we go through this presentation, I'd love to tailor my comments to your respective businesses, but I do need to know what they are. And when it comes to enhancing your brand identity, something that you can do is build a set of brand guidelines or a brand style guide. And this will govern the composition and use of your visual assets. It helps to ensure consistency, and it's a way that your brand becomes recognizable, just like the swoosh, very recognizable, the apple, the bitten apple, I'll say. Even the Campbell's logo. Again, having something that is consistent, is something that people can recognize is very important when it comes to your brand identity. Okay, you could advance. Okay, brand marketing. This is the third component. Brand marketing is the way that businesses or organizations highlight and bring awareness to products or services by connecting values and voice to the right audience through strategic communication. So again, your brand marketing, that's how you connect values and voice to the right audience. Hopefully you guys have had a conversation about your target market, and your target market should never be quote unquote everyone. Like you have to identify your specific demographic. Who are you talking to when you are promoting your business? That's important for you as the business owner to know, because you always want to have a target. You never want to be shooting at a moving target. Like that doesn't make sense. Okay, so think about your target market and who you're talking to at all times. Okay, I want to check the chat. USA Occupational Services attempting to launch a kids fitness center called Fit for Kids to maintain or lose weight through proper diet and exercise, like a baby Ollie's. Very good. We service B2B drug testing, alcohol, DNA background testing. Okay, very interesting. Thank you. All right, we can advance the next slide. Okay, tips for naming your business. If you haven't already thought about a name for your business, or you're thinking like, is this the right name? Here are some tips. Finding the right name for your business can have significant impact on your success. And the wrong name can do worse than fail to connect with customers. There can be some legal hurdles, especially if the name is already taken. But you want to avoid hard to spell names. You want to conduct thorough research on the internet, get the .com domain name, and then you want to use a name that conveys some meaning and also get some feedback. You know, talk to some trusted friends, colleagues, but even some people who you don't know, so you can have an unbiased opinion. Okay, next slide. Designing your logo. Okay, so remember we talked about brand identity. Again, this is the visual aspect of your brand. So you want to be able to define that and think about the various ways you plan to use your logo, whether on a business card, website, or promotional material. And you want to keep it simple. So as you think about the design for your logo, find some inspiration for your design. Check out the competition. How other people who have businesses similar to yours, what do their logos look like? You want to use colors in a planned way. You want to pick the right typography. You want to make sure it's like readable. And then you want to hire a graphic designer. If you have the skills to design a logo, great. But if not, anytime you spend money in your business, consider it an investment. Your business is like your baby. And so you want to love it and you want to put money into it because you want to see it grow. Next slide. Here's your technology. I have some free websites for you guys. So Canva, Be Enhanced, Dribble, Be Funky, all of these are free graphic design websites. Jot them down. There's also 3 free stock photo sites, Pexels, Pixabay, and Nacti. All of those have free stock photos that you guys can use for your social media accounts, your website, if you want to create a digital or electronic brochure. You want to make sure that you're not using copywritten images, but ones that are available for public use. Okay, next slide. So now I'm going to use my logo as an example. Can you guys talk to me about what elements you see in my logo? And just kind of tell me about the look and feel, like what comes to mind when you see LaLu Public Relations?
Fancy.
Okay. Fancy, elegant font, boutique, classy.
Yeah.
Simple. Anything else? Did you guys notice the color? It's just simply black. I can put that on anything, but if I wanted to change it, it's also, I can manipulate it very easily. I can have someone make the logo white and put it on a black background. I can make it pink. I can make it purple. I can do all of these things, but at the base is black. Simple and classy and universal, absolutely. Now, the L will make you notice. Great, thank you. Here's a little guessing game. Can you guys tell or guess where I got the inspiration from for this logo?
Laverne and Shirley.
Not quite, but that was a good guess. Lewis? Yes. So the name of my business is definitely a play on my last name, for sure. Desi Productions. Oh, okay. Anybody else? I'll give you a hint. It's a product. And I'm just talking about the design of the logo, not necessarily the name of my business. L'Oreal. Okay, that's a good guess. The chocolate, which chocolate? Okay, drum roll. Y'all can hear that? Okay, advance the slide. Coca-Cola. Tell me if you can see the resemblance. If you guys see the C's. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Yes, so I loved the font type. You know, it's kind of like cursive a little bit in Coca-Cola. I love the C's because those, like, they stand out. And so with Lalu, first off, well, I have a story to my business name. Of course, Lu being a play on my last name, but so I wanted the L's to stick out, but I wanted to have that cursive type font, of course, to keep it classy and elegant, like myself. So you can find inspiration from anywhere when you think about your business, but as long as it's something that's meaningful to you and it represents your business and it's something that can be versatile. Those are the three, the key things to designing a good logo. All right, next slide. Okay, creating a tagline. So when we saw Nike, everybody was like, just do it. Like, everyone knows it. So when you think about a tagline for your business, you want to keep it simple. You want it to tell a story. You want to communicate with clarity, but also it's an opportunity for you to be unique and creative. And your tagline is an opportunity to capitalize on your unique value add. Your value add is what you do as part of your business, something that's unique and I guess something that makes you stand out. And so I have another activity, so you can advance the slide. All right, so here are some popular brands, and let's see if you can match the brand to the slogan. So I'm gonna say the brand, and then in the chat, I want you to type in which slogan you think is there. So we're gonna start with Mercedes-Benz. So out of the slogans on the right-hand side, which one do you think is the Mercedes-Benz slogan? Now, did you guys know that or y'all just seeing it in the chat? Process. Okay, awesome. Okay, yes, the best or nothing. That is correct. Okay, let's go to Subway. Certainly isn't save money. You got that right, Allison. Okay, Subway, what's their slogan? Eat greasy. Jasmine. Yes, eat fresh. Who, oh, geez. I was gonna ask a question about Subway. Okay, never mind. Okay, that was easy. That was easy. Okay, how about Walmart? Which I got for Wally's World. You didn't mean to put that? Okay. Very good. Save money, live better. That is correct. Okay, how about Staples? Okay, some of you guys are really good and really fast. Awesome, awesome. Okay, Allstate. Which slogan belongs to Allstate? And can you guys hear the voice, right? That man, what's that guy's name?
You're in good hands.
Yes. Actor.
Allstate, you're in good hands.
Yes, yes, Dennis, thank you. All right, and last but certainly not least, L'Oreal. Now this one you should know. Yep, because you're worth it. Hair toss. You see how powerful these, the slogans, the images, the voices, you literally can see a visual when you think about some of these slogans. That is powerful. When you think about a brand, a business's brand, when you can think of that, when that image comes to your mind visually, that's a powerful brand. All right, now we can advance to the next slide. All right, so here's your opportunity. Let's take a minute to actually think of a tagline or slogan for your own business. And you guys can drop it in the chat. The phrase, it should be short, exemplify the essence of your brand and its personality. And if you already have a slogan, great, drop it in the chat. If you need to think of one, take a few minutes, think about it. If you need help, drop your business name in the chat. We'll see if we can help you. You write, we edit. Katira, drop your business name again and tell people a little bit about what you do. Healthy kids make healthy adults. Very nice. Okay, Cortina, need help. Okay, we got you. Is that, okay, Font, how do you pronounce that? Luxury body? Luxury? For the folks who need help, drop your business name. Okay, Jasmine Hardy, you need, okay. A wider door when the status quo doesn't work for you. Okay. Clarity, prosperity, retirement, redefined. Motherhood. Okay. Mm-hmm. Still just an idea. Okay. Inspiration for the occasion. Al, I like that. Mueller Asset Strategies, clarity, prosperity, retirement. Okay, got you. Help Miss Lola's event services. Okay. Going through a name change, new name possible, Kalani or Kalani Beauty. Okay, make memories. Jaminia, what's your business? Dude Wise, Dude, relax. Like that too. Ebony Warren Enterprises, printing services that are created with you in mind. Okay. Okay, thanks. Okay. So some of you guys have some of you guys need some help. All of that is totally fine. Remembrance items, t-shirts, lanterns, okay, very good. At the end of this presentation, I'm gonna give you guys my name, contact information. Feel free to reach out. You can advance to the next slide. So I do want to give you guys an opportunity to ask any questions, or if you need me to go over anything or expound upon anything that I've covered in today's session, here's your opportunity to ask. Helping moms breastfeeding normalize. Oh, that's awesome, Jasmine. Okay. I think his hair goes. Okay.
Hey, Jessica, this is Anthony.
Yes.
What's the process you think it takes to get a person to start thinking about how they can connect their brand to their target market?
What's the process of, okay, connecting? So first off, I think defining like your target market, like you have to know who you're talking to, because once you have that defined, then you'll know how to kind of craft your brand in a way that speaks to them. So like for LaLu PR, I don't really do PR for individuals per se. Like you won't really see me doing entertainment PR or a publicist for a person. My business is more focused on supporting businesses, companies, and organizations when they need a person to manage their communications, when they need someone to do media pitching for them. And so when I'm thinking about how I talk about the work that I do, I'm always lifting up examples of work that I'm doing with companies, businesses, and nonprofits. And so I tailor my brand to that specific target. But also one thing is that your brand is iterative. It's going to go through many changes and stages and phases as you kind of grow and develop. Because when I first started doing PR, you know, people would ask me, well, who's your target market? And my response is like, everybody. I could do PR for everybody. That is, no, I can't. Because like I said, I realized very quickly that doing PR for individuals is not where I wanted to be. I needed to pivot my focus towards businesses, organizations, and nonprofits to do PR for them. And that was a decision I made for many different reasons. And I'm still growing and developing my own brand as a business owner. And so I think it's a process, but first identifying who your target market is, like that's the first step in making that connection.
Yeah, that was great. I also have a question. I know that a lot of people, like when they hear PR, they're like, oh, you must have did something wrong. And I think Katira had a really good question. She's like, what is your favorite and least favorite responsibility as a PR specialist?
I would say, I think the part I enjoy the most is probably the part with the media relations. Now, when it comes to like managing reputations, you know, that's where people are like, oh, you need a PR person or a publicist or whatever. Now, that is part of the job, managing reputations, or if the company makes a boo-boo and now we got to put out a statement, yes, you want your PR person or your communications firm to be able to draft that statement. And one thing as PR people, if we are working with like an individual CEO, the first thing is like, always tell the truth. Always just come right out. I was going to say something with the current situation, but I guess I'll leave that alone. But being truthful is always so important, because cleaning up that mess is just like, oh my God. It's just like if you're dealing with a child. If your child does something wrong, you would much rather have them just come out, be forthcoming, tell you what happened. Because if you find out that they lied, you're going to be even more mad. So I think with the least favorite part is kind of cleaning up the mess. That reputation management would be my least. Oh, like Olivia Pope. Oh my God. So how about when I first started LaLu, my business name was going to be LaLu PR and Associates, because I swore I was Olivia Pope, even though I'm not. But yes, Barbara, thank you. But I would say, yeah, that's probably my least favorite part. But working with the media is my favorite part.
Yeah, I really like that question and how you kind of brought it back to who you are. And that kind of makes me like curious about like how do you think people see your brand and the buzz that it's getting now? Because that's what branding is kind of about. It's that general buzz that people are saying about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, is there a local company in Rochester or Buffalo that I know that you went to school in Buffalo, a small business that you kind of like, oh yeah, they have a really strong brand that some of these small businesses can follow behind?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think there's a lot of businesses that have some strong brands. I'm trying to think of like some folks that I follow on Instagram. There's this young lady, you guys may or may not know her, but it's the House of Roshi, and she actually does illustrations, like floral lettering. And what makes her business strong is that, first off, she always tells her story, her as the owner, as the creator, as like the CEO. She's constantly making that connection between herself and her target market. And I think that as small business owners, you know, being yourself, like people want to connect with people. People don't want to connect with just some thing out in space. They don't know who's behind it. They connect with people. And so, telling your story, telling people kind of how you got to where you are, what you can do for them, that's important because as people, relationships are so incredibly important. And so I think that for strong brands, it's always a brand that you can trust because you spend your money where you have trust. So if you're loyal, if you are a Wegmans shopper, you are a Wegmans shopper. You love them, you love the customer service, you love their produce, and you're loyal to that particular brand. If you like Tops or if you like Walmart, whatever it is. And I also think too, when you identify your target market, don't be scared to do that. I think I struggled with that at the beginning, because I was like, well, if I say this group is my target market, well, what about this group? And it doesn't mean that I can't do work for them. It's just I know who I'm talking to when I'm doing my own marketing. But I still have the skills to help multiple people, but I just have like a focus area so that I'm not all over the place.
Yeah, I think that kind of makes it like a connection from like marketing and sales part and how it connects to storytelling and then being able to know exactly how that messaging is getting to that person.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of led into the next presentation is going to be about social media. And I know like that's really strong. And as you're building your brand, you kind of touched upon people want to talk to the owner. The unique part that a small business has is they don't have 50,000 employees. It's normally a small group of people who their customers can connect to. How strong is that for you to have that voice and be on those platforms so people can see you as the owner of that business?
Oh my gosh, it's so incredibly important. And I'm glad you guys are going to be talking about social media. And I think you guys almost like have 2 sessions because that is really, you can leverage social media. That is a free platform to get your business out there. And so even for Lola with your business, like I hope you're taking before and after pictures. I hope you're showing your work and that you're connecting those stories. So even if you do an event, talk about what this meant to decorate this baby shower for this new mom, or the retirement party you did for someone who, gave 25 years of service. Like making those connections is so incredibly important. The gentleman at the beginning, he talked about, he does has a turnaround service. Like if you can share the stories of what you've done for clients, that is going to make someone inclined to reach out and say, hey, I need help with my business. Because right now, this pandemic, like I'm floundering and I really need help. And so the more that you can tell those stories, the better, because it just helps people connect.
Yeah, I love that. That's definitely key. I don't want to hold up. Does anybody else have a question, comment, concern, something that they learned or something that they would like a little help on, especially that tagline? So anybody who has a tagline or thinking about a tagline wants to kind of present theirs, because that's a tagline just helps you to just understand really quickly who that brand is and what their mission and how it speaks to their customers. So
I have a quick question, Jessica. I don't know if you need to elaborate on this, but if you can, I'd love for you to. If I know that it's important for us to have a good tagline and a good brand for new clients, but isn't it maybe even more important for us to have brand recognition with current clients so we can build that brand loyalty?
Oh, absolutely. It sure is. I would say Pat Stone Enterprise. This is some brand. This is my second time coming back, and so. But again, it's a couple of things. Yes, brand loyalty, but it's doing a good job. Like you have to have quality service. I don't care. You can have the baddest brand in the land. If your service is not right, if your service is not up to snuff, no one is going to spend money with you. You know, and so you gotta. It's both. It's both, and you need to. And that's why for Lalu, you know, I don't take on a bunch of clients because I don't have the bandwidth to take on a bunch of clients. I'd rather keep my handful of clients and do a banging job with them and know that they're going to come back because Lalu did a great job for them.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that was awesome. Again, and that just goes back to, again, how these workshops kind of relate to each other. That customer experience is that sales process, how they interact with your brands even after they've already used you before, and that's how you get to draw them back in. So I love that question, Adam and Jessica, for asking it. I think Barbara has a question too. She wants to jump on.
Yes, hi. First of all, thank you so much for the way that you've presented, you know, the questions that you asked, because you literally pulled me into like revealing. I mean, I've already kind of had started swirling the ideas about like, okay, what kind of business name, you know, so the default was my name versus like the concept, which I put in the chat, because it became then something that I could focus on based on what you said. So thank you for that. But with that said, when you first started out, were you already set on this is definitely what I want to do? And then you just went about it with more like you already had a narrow focus, or did that develop over time based on your feedback from, say, the clients or the work that you did?
Yeah, when I first started, I had a general sense, and how I even got into PR is that first I wanted to be a reporter. I wanted to be Janet Lomax. Okay, so I wanted to get into news, and then I had this opportunity to shadow a reporter at News 8, and the news is not as glamorous as it looks on TV. So I was like, back to square one. And so that's kind of how I got into PR. And so a teacher that I had taken a course with, she had her own PR firm. And so I looked and I watched and I studied her. And that's kind of how I got the general layout for my own business. But I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do, but how I narrowed it down was based on client needs. Like, so what their demands were, like they needed someone to do X, Y, and Z for them while I was trying to do A, B, and C. Well, a smart person would know, sis, you need to pivot and provide X, Y, and Z because that's what people are looking for. And again, you always are meeting the needs of your clients. And so I remember one time, the Urban League of Rochester, they were putting on their anniversary luncheon, and they needed an event coordinator. Now, that was never on my menu of services, but guess what? When they asked, they were like, can you do it? I was like, I sure can. And that became a menu item, like, okay, now Lalu PR does event coordination. And I did what I had to do on top of the PR for the luncheon, which is their largest fundraising event. And so over time, as you listen, you gotta be a good listener when you're in business. You have to take feedback from your clients, good, bad, or indifferent. And then you need to take heed to that so that your business can be successful. If you are very, kind of stern and you're not flexible and I just wanna do this, you're gonna be unsuccessful because your business does not stay afloat without customers. So it's definitely grown and it's still continuing to grow. And I'm still continuing to transition and to make pivots. Even during the pandemic, people weren't doing events. So I didn't have anything to promote. I didn't have anything to publicize, right? So I had to switch to kind of doing what I'm doing now, more workshops, helping business owners to develop their brands, teaching what's in my head and giving that to other business owners. And so that aspect of my business has taken off. So again, I'll always say branding is iterative. Your business will go through many stages and phases.
Yeah, that was definitely powerful. And thank you for that question, Barbara. And yeah, does anybody else have any questions? This is the time to kind of ask them. I know that we're way ahead of time, but one of the things that we want to provide is that time.
Well, I just want to say that she just helped me because I was battling between two ideas. And since I already have a Facebook page about breastfeeding and helping moms normalize it, since that's what I do, I think I'm just going to go with that as my business because I help moms with breastfeeding, and I help them not just teach them, I also help them make a list of stuff that they need and everything like that. So she really just helped me just now, just narrow it down. I just got to figure out a name.
Cool. Thank you for that, Jasmine, for giving us that insight. Yeah, if that is it, no more questions, I would love to just give Jessica a virtual round of applause. Thank you again for presenting. It's always amazing to have you and hear your perspective. And again, her contact information was right there. If you didn't get it, definitely follow her on Instagram and Twitter. And there's her website. Again, thank you, Jessica. All right. Did we lose her? I want to make sure. If she had anything else you wanted to say. All right. Awesome. All right, guys.
I'm sorry. I just had to get more clarity with, did she want us to reach out to her about our taglines, ideas, or?
Yes, please.
Jessica, did you offer homework?
Yeah, sure. You guys can feel free to reach out. I'll do a free consultation. If you want to go a little bit further, then we can talk about, what services you're looking for. But yeah, definitely, you can connect with me, find me on social media. I'm literally on every platform: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. I don't know, put up the bat signal, I'll be there.
Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Maxine has her hand raised.
Okay. Maxine must have a question.
No, my phone just acting up. I don't know why that hand up there. I can't get it off.
All right. Again, I would like to
Can
thank.
you put her information up again? I'm sorry.
There it is.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Again, thank you again. Thank you again, Jessica, for being here, for giving us that insight. Again, this is an opportunity, again, to talk about how to implement these things into your business and make them more efficient, running them through technology, or even just under the baseline, the foundation that you need to have when you're starting to discuss these technical skills. So next week, like was mentioned, we will talk about that. I will pass it over to Adam, and I'm guessing, or to the hirer to talk about lunch, because it will be provided today.
Yeah, Jessica and Anthony, thank you both so much. Anthony, thanks for coordinating all this. Jessica, thank you so much for your expertise and taking the time to really be engaging and informative and work with everybody who had questions. And, this is, for me, I'm not a creative person, so this is always an exercise in understanding how the other half works, other half of my brain works. So I really appreciate kind of connecting the dots there for us. So thank you so much for doing that for everybody here today. And I know that a lot of people have questions and will be reaching out because everybody got something from this today, which is what we go for when we have these workshops. And another thing we really like about these workshops is having the chance to get together and have some networking and some fellowship. And while we can't all be together in person to have fellowship, and which includes food, we do want to give everybody a food voucher. We're gonna, lunch is on us today, so we're gonna send everybody a meal voucher. If you would go ahead and put down in the chat what restaurant you would like your meal voucher to. For those in Buffalo, we have Sunshine Vegan Eats and Freddie J's Barbecue. For those in Buffalo or who would like to use their voucher in Buffalo, use those two. In Rochester, we have El Pilon Criollo and the Arnett Cafe. So those are the two Rochester options. Those are the options. Please let us know in the chat which one you want, and we'll get the vouchers out to you guys as soon as possible. We do this every week on these workshops. on these bigger workshops, we provide you with a meal, since like I said, we can't all be in the same room. We will all be in the same room at some point hopefully in the next year or so. We'll all get together and talk about what 2020 was like, and then we'll provide food. We'll bring food to you. But again, those are the options: Sunshine Vegan Eats and Freddie J's in Buffalo, and then El Pilon Criollo in Rochester, as well as the Arnett Cafe in Rochester. And before we wrap up, I want to tell you guys again what's coming up next week. Again, keep in mind that while Tech Talks is typically on Wednesdays, next week and the following week, we're going to be on Thursdays. It's going to be on Thursday, and we're going to be talking with David Simons at Kingdom Social Media about social media and how to use social media to grow your business and to really promote your brand, and how to take things to the next step using social media, how to use social media right. There's a lot of ways to use social media right, and there's a lot of ways where maybe if you're using social media, you can do it better, and David's going to teach us how to do that. After those 2 weeks, the final 2 weeks of Tech Talks will be website development and content management with Mike Warren at View Signage, and Mike's going to talk to us those final 2 weeks about building your website and making sure that you have the proper content in place and how to build that content and everything that kind of goes into building an appealing website and a website that works for you and for your business. And keep in mind, for anybody who graduated from boot camp, anybody who attended at least 4 classes of boot camp that just wrapped up last week, we have the next level starting next week. And we've got a couple minutes here, so if Mr. McCarley is still on the line, I'm going to give him an opportunity here to pitch next level and tell us a little bit about what's going to happen in week 1 and then what they can expect in the following week. So Mr. McCarley, it's all yours.
Yes, hello everyone. Jessica, wonderful presentation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A lot of good information. The next level is, again, it's about the mind of business. It's about expanding what you either already think you know or what you're assuming. And one of the things that has really happened is COVID-19 has thrown a monkey wrench into a lot of people's business operations. Some people are doing okay. Some people are rising from the ashes. Some are pivoting, but others are actually still kind of floating out there in the sea without a life raft. The next level is really just that. It's to take you to the next level mentally with regard to your business, to understand some interesting nuances that actually exist that, quite honestly, most other people really aren't going to tell you. I've been doing this for 40 years, and so I've got some interesting horror stories, as a lot of people have. But I want to provide information for individuals so that they get better and better and better. I have a saying: I don't look at tomorrow because tomorrow has already gone. I look at tomorrows because that's the future. So I look forward to having everybody actually at the next level. Have your pens and paper ready. Have your questions ready if you have them, because we're going to be doing a lot of work to take you to the next level.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. And for those of you who are looking to sign up for that, we'll have the information in your email, but you can also find it on our Eventbrite and on our websites. So please register for that. We are excited to see you at next level starting next week, and that'll take us pretty much up to the final weeks of the calendar year. I can't believe we're already well into September here. So we're moving right along. In 2020, at some point, will come to an end, and we will be on to a new year that hopefully is a little less free of turmoil, and maybe we can all just take a vacation in 2021 and just get right with everything. But I want to thank everybody for coming out. Oh, you had somebody.
Sorry, Adam. I just want to, before we wrap up, folks, I just want to make sure that everyone basically just saves the Pecky email address, and I'll kind of put that in the chat right now. There's been something going on with Eventbrite that it's been sending out, I guess like it's kind of been looping people, so they've been having trouble logging in. So please just make sure that you have pecky@pathstone.org as like a known email address so that you can get our reminders. We always send out 24-hour and 1-hour reminders to the workshops. And in both of those emails, that's where you will receive the link to Zoom. So again, I'm not sure what's happening with Eventbrite, that they're sending out kind of an incorrect link that just loops people around. Here, if you check out the chat, this is the email for Pecky. That's where the mass emails come from. And I'm sure most of you have gotten an email from me at some point or another, but I'll put that in here as well. So just in case if anyone ever has any problems, please make sure those 2 emails are saved in your known contacts. That's it. Okay, go ahead, Adam.
No, if you guys are not getting emails from us, if you're not seeing those Pecky emails, please let us know. We want to make sure that you're getting that information, because not only is it reminders, but it's also this follow-up information that comes after all of these events. We want to make sure you have access to all of that and also know where to find it. So if you're not getting those emails regularly, we usually send out, you should get, I think at least 2 emails a week from us if you're attending these workshops regularly. So if you're not getting those, let us know, and we can we'll find a way to get them to you. We'll figure all that out. So, but thank you everybody for attending. I'm glad everybody had a safe and happy Labor Day weekend. We're so happy to have you with us this week, and we're moving right along. We're learning a lot, and Jessica, thank you so much again for passing along your information and your knowledge and educating all of us. And to Dion and Jahida, thank you for running the show behind the scenes and making sure everything runs well. And we've got Facebook Live going and the PowerPoint going. And Anthony, sir, as always, you are an invaluable asset to us. And thank you for coordinating this workshop. And with that, I will close out and say goodbye to everybody. And we will see you next Thursday at noon for the next session of Tech Talks.
Thank you, everyone.